Hi friends, Lara here from Shine with Lara. Thank you so much for deciding to hop on your mat to practice with me. I'm very much looking forward to today's practice because it is one that is designed for the days or the times where you're just feeling really low energy, but you know that some movement, some breath is in your lane. So it's not to say that whenever we feel tired, we should push through and get on our mat or go move. We should absolutely be listening to our bodies. Some days when we're low energy, that's our body telling us that we need rest. So today's practice, alternatively, is for the days where you're low energy, but you think that you can get in a little bit of movement, a little bit of breath, but you just don't want to stand up. So we'll be working really low to the ground today. All you need, of course, is yourself and a space to practice. But if you happen to have a pillow to prop yourself up on for our grounding practice and some gentle warm-ups, and if you have a blanket that you'd like to fold a couple of times and place on your mat for your knees, please feel free to grab whatever you need and join me again. And whenever you're ready, whenever you get into that place where you think you can begin, just take a nice big breath in here. And on your exhale, slowly let the eyelids soften. Maybe they close, or maybe they're gently open, gazing at the tip of your nose or another drishti in your eyes awareness. Take another breath in, and as you exhale, let your legs get heavy. Ground down deep into the earth. Feel your sit bones press against the earth below you. If you feel like your humeral heads of your shoulders are drooping forward, see if you can just gently bring them back a bit. Broaden the chest. Connecting with body here, lengthening up through the spine, but keeping the integrity of the beautiful lumbar and cervical curves. Allow the head to be tall with the chin slightly tucked. Maybe bring the throat back if you have a tendency to hang the head forward. And we'll just take a few moments to settle into this moment, these moments. Showing up exactly as you are, and maybe even bringing a hand to your heart to symbolize gratitude for even unrolling your mat. On days where our energy is low, it can be enough to just roll out the mat and sit on it. So please navigate through this practice with your own breath, with your own movement, or even lack thereof. If at any time you feel like you'd like to rest in Shavasana or a child's pose or anything else that you need, please feel free to do so. We are here to practice together. Take a few more moments in silence, connecting to body, connecting to breath. And then when you're ready, you can keep your eyes closed or soft. Gently bring the hands to the tops of the knees and take a breath in. And as you do, allow the shoulder blades to come together at the back as you bring the chest forward, pulling the belly in into this seated cow pose. Breathing into the front of the body. Just noticing what this very first shape brings up for you. Stay with breath. Don't force anything. Don't squeeze your shoulder blades back. Just see if you can find a little bit of energy, whatever you have. And then take another big breath in through the nose. And on your exhale, nice and slowly release the shoulder blades. Let them pull apart. As you bring your belly in towards your spine, sit back and bring chin to chest. Take some breaths here in this seated cat pose. Maybe move one shoulder and then the other. Maybe staying static, whatever you need. And then from here we can move with a little breath. So inhaling, coming back to that seated cow. And exhale, round the back, cat. Few more, inhale. Chest expands as you come forward, widen the collarbones, and exhale. Round the back. Let's do that 2 more times with breath. Moving at your own pace. And nice and slowly come on up, back through center, back to your neutral seat. Take the back of your left hand and bring it to the small of your back. Again, with this humeral head, see if we can send the shoulder up and back, not straining anything. And then we'll bring the left arm out to the left. Maybe the fingertips touch the ground. Take a big breath in through the nose. And then on your exhale, send your left ear to your left shoulder. Finding breath through the right side of the neck. Even getting into the muscles around the collarbone. Gently pressing the back of your right hand into that small of your back. And then nice and slow, we'll move the chin down through center and then come over until the right ear meets the right shoulder. And then from here, you can stay here. Maybe you allow the left arm to raise and reach away. Maybe you make it dynamic with breath, lowering the arm and then lifting it back up. Just finding what you need. And nice and slowly we'll come on up, release. Move to the other side now. So left hand on the small of the back, checking in with the shoulder, moving it back as it needs to, taking a big breath in through the nose. And then on your exhale, again, right ear to right shoulder. And slowly roll the chin down to chest and then move to the other side. Left ear, left shoulder. Maybe the right arm lifts, maybe it stays down. If you feel sensation here, notice how far you feel it. Is it just in the neck? Do you feel it in the shoulder? Maybe in the fingertips, the forearms? No right answer, just an exploration. And nice and slow, roll the chin down through center, send it back up, neutral seat, bring the hands on top of the thighs, pause and notice. On your next inhale, allow your arms to come out to either sides. Big stretch away of the arms, maybe wiggle the fingers. And then inhale, bring the shoulder blades together. Open up the chest, engage the core. Big opening. And then on your exhale, round the back slightly and cross your left arm over your right, giving yourself a big hug here. And then from here, maybe we take some side bends. You can even stay static. Maybe you draw some circles. And if you're making circles, you can change directions. And then bring yourself back up through center. Keep the arms crossed, and you have the option now to take eagle arms. So maybe the back of the hands touch, or maybe you wrap the palms around and connect the palms. And gently breathe into the back of the shoulders. Remember, you can keep the first option. Gentle breaths here. Find one more. And nice and slowly, you can release the arms. Maybe roll the shoulders a few times on each side. And we'll move to the other side. So big reach out with the arms. Inhale, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Big breath in. And on your exhale, right arm comes over the left. Big, big hug. Same thing here, finding some gentle bends if that feels right. Maybe some circles. And when you're ready, you can come through center, and we'll either stay here or find eagle arms on the other side. Nice and slow. Release the arms. Maybe find some shoulder rolls. And then we'll stay in our seat, but we're going to cross the opposite shin over the other. Been seated for a while. We can even it out a bit. And then place your left hand down on the mat. And then walk it a few paces back behind you. We'll find some variations of a twist. Inhale your right arm up diagonally, lining up maybe with that right thigh. Take a breath in. And then on your exhale, twist to the left. Gentle twist. And we're going to do that 2 more times with breath, and then we'll hold. Inhale, diagonally up. Exhale, twist. One more time. Inhale, Good. And exhale. Here we stay. Maybe with each breath, we find a little more length and maybe just a little bit more of a twist. And nice and slow, come back through center, hands to thighs, pause. And we'll move to the other side. Right fingertips back behind you, left arm lines up with the left thigh, reach the arm up, inhale. Exhale, send the left arm across the right thigh, twist. Inhale, bring it back. And exhale. Twist again. One more time, inhale. And exhale. Stay here. Only twisting as much as you need to. You don't need to crank your head or your shoulder to look behind you. Sometimes a nice rule of thumb is just to allow your head to follow the same path as your chest. So if your chest is still here, maybe we don't try to strain it. Just something to consider. And come on back when you're ready. Hands to thighs, pause. And then nice and slowly, we'll bring our hands out in front of us and walk them down gently, only as much as it feels right. I'm up on a pillow right now, so it'll be a little bit different than if I was just connected to the earth with my sit bones. Just finding a gentle fold here. If you don't want to curl your spine and you want to keep a long one, you can take this variation. Find breath. See if you can keep the sit bones heavy. And then we'll walk over to the left. Take 2 big breaths here. And we'll move to the other side. Come on up, back through center, and then come back to a seat. We're going to move to hands and knees in a moment, but before we do, let's just take a little bit of time to open and close our hands, warming up the fingers, the wrists, and we'll even get into the forearms. So you can start slow, and then maybe increase your speed. And if you'd like, you can stay right here, or you can start to bring your hands up and up and up. And it might not seem like much, but if you do this enough, you'll possibly start to feel a lot of heat going on in the wrists. And we'll keep going, and we'll start to lower the hands if they're raised for 5, for 4, for 3, 2, 1, and release the hands. Oof. Feel the energy bouncing around the hands and the arms. This may be a good opportunity to get into the forearms a little bit. So you can bend your left arm and open your palm like you're holding a tray, and then take your other hand and place them on top of the first 4 fingers and bring the fingers down towards the forearm. This doesn't have to be a huge motion. Most of us don't have a ton of range of motion here, so just keep it nice and gentle. And then take a big breath in. And on your exhale, extend the arm out. Get a little bit deeper into the forearm here. And then move to the other side, bending the right arm, bringing the palm to the sky of the right hand. Bring the forefingers back down towards the forearm. And then big breath in. And exhale. Open up here. Beautiful. Release. Shake out the hands. Pause for a moment. Notice if you feel any energy shifting in the body, especially if you showed up very low energy and kind of tired. Notice how you feel right now. You might still feel just as tired, or you may feel just a little bit more awake, maybe a little bit more energized. So we'll come to all fours now. You can set your pillow to the side, and we'll come into a tabletop position with the knees under the shoulders and the hands under the hips. Allow your shoulder blades to sit on the back of the ribs, maybe roll them a few times to really get that connection of the weight traveling down from the shoulders to the arms to the hands. Notice your head. If it feels heavy, see if you can lift the throat and tuck the chin slightly. Notice if the belly is succumbing to gravity, and if so, just pull it in. Maybe a little bit of energy is firing in the glutes right now. And from here, we'll get into the feet and the calves a bit. So extend the right leg out with the bottoms of the toes down on the mat. And rock forward and back a few times. Just getting into those toes, into the calves. And then pause here, lift the right leg up, and then bend the knee so that the sole of the right foot is to the sky. And from here, we'll make a few circles. Keeping a strong core here. So make a few circles one way, and then we'll make a few circles the other way. So we're still getting a little bit of strength here, a little bit of mobility. You might start to feel a little heat in the body. Good. And then bring the right knee down, and we'll move over to the other side. Maybe you pause for a moment, come off the wrists, bring palms to the sky. And then we'll come back. So left toes back, rock forward and back a few times. And then lift the left leg. Same thing here, bending at the left knee. And we'll make some circles going one way. And then going the other. Good, and bring that left knee down. Bring the right shin out. So as if we're creating a little bit of a kickstand for us. And really ground through that right hand under the right shoulder. We're going to turn into a variation of side plank. So extend the left leg out with the left foot down on the ground, and then balance all of the joints on the right side and lift the left arm up. So with your left foot flat on the mat, that'll give you a little bit more stability here. If you want to point the toes, that'll play with your balance a little bit more. And if you want to lift the leg, that'll play with your balance for sure. So take whatever variation you'd like today. Opening up the chest here, relaxing the neck, finding a gaze that'll work for you. And then nice and slow, bring the left hand down, and we'll scoot our right ankle back behind the left knee and bring the left leg out to the side. I know you can't see it here, but my left foot is flat down on the ground, so it's not hanging on one side or the other. Walk the right knee a bit over to the right, and then come down onto the elbows and rock back and forth on that right heel for a little bit of an inner thigh stretch. Come back up onto the hands. Take a big breath in and sweep that left arm up. Open up for a twist. And then exhale. Very briefly thread the right arm under the left. We'll go 2 more twists. So inhale. Send it up. Exhale. Send it down. One more time. Inhale. And exhale. Bring the left knee underneath the left hip. Let the left foot kick out outside of the mat. Again, we're creating that kickstand. And we'll extend that right leg nice and long with the right foot flat down on the mat. Coming in for a variation of side plank here. Opening up the chest. Same thing here if you want to play with pointing the toe or lifting the leg. Hold the core nice and strong. And then send the right hand down. Bring the left shin back and extend that right leg out to the right, coming down on the elbows. Rocking back and forth. And come up on the hands and knees. Inhale, open up the right arm, twist, exhale, brief thread under the left arm. 2 more times. Inhale and exhale. 1 more time. Inhale and exhale. The right hand down. Bring the right knee underneath the right hip. Bring the big toes to touch and find your variation of a child's pose. So knees can be together, they can be spread apart as much as you'd like. Your arms can be long or your elbows can rest down on the mat. And you can bring your forehead down to the mat, or maybe you stack fists or stack hands and rest. Checking in here. Noticing if you feel any sensation. Notice where it is, how far it travels. Nice and slowly come on up. And we're We're going to move into some variations of standing shapes on our knees. So send the right foot forward. We'll find a low lunge here, Anjaneyasana. So you can have the left knee right under the left hip, or if it's in your practice, you can find a little bit of a deeper lunge, your choice. And then when you arrive, maybe bring your hands to your hips, find a couple of pelvis tilts. And then find that place right in the middle, that sweet spot. And then send the arms up, and then cactus, bending at the elbows, opening up the chest. Press through with the front foot, top of the back foot, allowing all that energy to travel up the legs into the glutes, pulling up through the core, standing up tall in the torso. On your next inhale, curl the chest up towards the ceiling. And then exhale, bring it back. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale. And exhale. 1 more time. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Lift the arms up. Big breath here. Exhale, bring the left hand down, right arm up, coming in for a twist. You can keep this right arm up, or you can bring the right hand to the hip and just open up the chest here. And nice and slowly, we'll send the right arm down. Come on up out of your lunge, and we're going to move into what I call a variation of Warrior 2 on knee. So take your left shin and turn it to the right side of the mat so that now your knee, your ankle, and your hip point are all lined up in another direction. We'll keep this right foot pointed towards the front of the mat, and then open up your arms here. So arms are on either side. We've got our Warrior 2 arms. And just take a few breaths. So we're keeping a nice steady hip here. The belly is in. Little bit of a firing of the glutes. And then flip your right palm here. Take a breath in as you lift your right arm up. Exhale, reverse your warrior. Inhale, come back to your Warrior 2. Exhale, extended side angle, right arm to right thigh. Left arm comes up and over. Now here we'll take a few breaths and see if we can expand the left side of the rib cage. So big breath in. And slow breath out. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Nice and slow. We'll come on back. Find that Warrior 2. And then drop the arms. Find our way back to our knees. And we'll find a downward facing dog with the knees down today. So much like puppy, we'll keep our hips over our knee points and walk our hands down. But instead of melting our chest down towards the mat, we'll keep everything nice and contained here. You can bring the forehead down to the mat, and here we're finding length, just like in our down dog, from our fingertips all the way to our tailbone. When you're ready, slowly come on up. And we'll move to the other side. So step the left foot up to the top of the mat. We'll find Anjaneyasana on the other side. Again, maybe bring the hands to the hips. Find your nice sweet spot where your pelvis can be nice and stable. And then we'll bring the arms out to cactus once again. If you notice your hips are coming out, see if you can bring that left hip crease back and the right hip crease forward. Inhale, send the chest up towards the sky. Exhale, bring it back. Inhale, chest to sky. Exhale, bring it back. One more time, inhale, chest to sky. Exhale, send it back. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, right hand down, left arm up. Twist. Same thing here. You can bring the left hand to the left hip. Open up the chest. And nice and slow, bring the left hand down. Turn that left shin all the way to the left now, finding that warrior two stance. Arms out by your sides. Standing tall through the torso, finding a little bit of energy in the glutes. Inhale, flip your left palm. Exhale, reverse your warrior. Inhale, come back. Exhale, rest the left arm on the left thigh. Bring the right arm up and over towards the front of the mat. Same thing here, 2 big breaths, opening up the right side of that rib cage. And bring yourself on back here, warrior two, and then drop the hands, turn yourself back to the top of your mat, and we'll find that downward dog on knees. Staying with the breath here. Nice and slow, come on up. Coming to our final seated pose. Finding a little bit of twist here. So we'll start with the other leg. So bending your left leg and bring your left foot close to the right glute. Cross your right foot across the left leg and let the right foot come flat down on the ground. From here, we'll move whatever we need to move to find a little bit of a twist to the right, and then hug this right leg in towards the body. Bring the right hand back behind you, and we'll find a little twist here. If you'd like another variation of this shape, you can take Sukhasana with the shins crossed and find a twist there. Just finding breath. Maybe you feel your belly pressed against your thigh. Come on back through center. Take a pause here, or maybe you scoot this right foot a little bit more over across the body, taking Gomukhasana, cow legs. And then you can sit up nice and tall again. You can stay in that first shape or in Sukhasana and just fold over the legs. Come on up. Untwist the legs. Maybe you let them out long, give them a little bit of a shake, maybe some gentle taps. And we'll move to the other side. So bending into the right leg, bring the right foot towards the left glute. Cross the left foot over the right leg. Left foot is flat down on the mat. Again, moving anything you need to find a little bit of a twist to the left, and then giving yourself a nice big hug here. Pressing the arm into the left leg and maybe the left leg into the arm. Come back around through center. Again, maybe we just pause here in the neutral position, or you can heel toe your left foot a little bit more over to the right and find Gomukhasana, maybe folding over the legs once more. Nice and slowly, you can find your way back up. Turning onto your mat, bringing your buns to about the middle of the mat, and then finding your way all the way down onto your back. Nice and slow. And when you arrive, bend both legs. Let the feet come flat down on the mat. We're going to find a little bit of an outer thigh, outer leg release. So bring your right leg up to the sky, extend it long, flex the toes towards the shins, and then take your left hand and grab the outside of either your right foot, your right ankle, or maybe the right calf. From here, you're going to turn the right foot in so that the toes are coming in towards the left. And you're going to bring this left leg across the body just slightly. You might even start to feel something already with just a slight bend to the left. And then as you come to the left, you can cave this right knee a bit into the right. So this is going to get into the piriformis, even into some of those muscles that are attached to the IT band. And especially if you're feeling a lot of sensation, if the sensation isn't telling you to let go, if it's telling you to go deeper, then use your breath, use those exhales to get in there. Find one more breath here. And come on back, bring the leg back, and then bend the right leg. Give yourself a little bit of a hug, and we'll move to the other side. So right foot goes flat down on the mat. Extend the left leg, flex the toes towards the shins, And then outside of the left leg with the right hand, turn the toes inward. And then as we bring the left leg over to the right, we can cave the right knee over to the left. Find one more breath here. And send the right leg back up, bend the knee, give yourself a little hug. And to end off, we'll come into a happy baby. So grab the outside of each ankle, maybe the pant leg, maybe the foot, keeping the lower part of the spine down on the mat, and gently pull the armpits, pull the knees into the armpits, flex the feet. Maybe rock gently left to right. The last shape of our practice. Just noticing how we feel now compared to the first minute, the first 10 minutes. Knowing very well that we might feel exactly the same. No worries there. That's life for you. Can release your legs. Maybe you come into a slight waterfall just for a few breaths. And if waterfall is not calling you today, maybe you just get right into your Shavasana shape. So with Shavasana, we always have so many options. You can just lie supine on your back with your legs out long, arms by your sides. Maybe you have one hand to your heart, the other to your belly. Maybe you cactus the arms. You can bend the knees. You can even lie on your belly or on your side. There's really no wrong way to take this shape. It's whatever is going to help you integrate your practice and give you a few moments of stillness. And when you arrive to that place, just let every bit of your body relax just a little bit more. All the way from the soles of your feet to your eyes, your eyebrows, your cheeks. Come back to your breath. And as always, if you want to use some of your Shavasana for some pranayama, you can do some breath retention. Maybe you hold your inhales and exhales. Maybe you count breath, 4 in, 6 out, or 8 out. Finding a time signature that'll work for you. Maybe you just follow the breath and notice the rise and fall of the chest or belly. And maybe today you just lay here and do whatever you can, even if that means not doing a traditional pranayama practice. ready, coming back to body, to breath, to this moment. Finding any movements that you need to before we find our way back up to seated. As always, with the option to stay supine as we close out practice. No need to change your position if this is feeling right for you. But if you are rising up, keep the face soft. Keep the movements intentional. And when you come up into your seat, maybe your hands stay wherever they are, or maybe you press the palms together with the thumbs into your heart. And possibly bowing the chin to the chest, allowing the thinking mind to rest in the wisdom and beauty of our heart space. And we'll close our practice today with our 3 dedication breaths and then the optional sound of Om. So that first breath we dedicate to ourselves. So take a big breath for you. And take another for someone you love. And the third and most important for all beings. And if you are joining for the sound of Om, find your next big breath in. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. Even if just for today, may you know peace, may you know love, and may you feel whole and joyous in your experience and with every moment of the rest of your day. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope that this practice provided you with some solace, some movement of energy, and that you found what you were looking for. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope to see you next time. Peace.